Greetings, YouTube. This is a piece that I made a while back. I think I called it the Wasteland Ripper or something like that. And I've come to realize that while I'm happy with this, even though my later models had a cleaner look, I'm not happy with this. I'm happy with this here. The U itself is quite nice. It would be awesome if I could get my hands on some steel U-channel, like a 6-foot piece of U-channel that I could just make U's out of, because these barn door style handles are like $6 a pop. It's obscene. It pisses me off. But because the reality is I really only need the U, because what I want to do here is I want to cut this off. So I want to cut this flap off completely. I want to cut this down on both sides. I'll be disassembling this section. They'll just be removing this. The rest can stay exactly the way it is. And I'll be reassembling it the way it is. So this up here will not be changing at all. I'm just going to take this off. So I'm going to cut this off on both sides. I'll probably save these and use them as washers. I'm going to have to mark down where I want these things to be cut, because I'm going to want to have this edge be on the outside here. So I'll mark that while it's still assembled. And get rid of these, get rid of the angles, drill new holes here and new holes here, and then put in some L brackets, which I'm going to make out of bed frames, because that's free, literally free. It doesn't cost me anything. I find bed frames by the roadside. They're often awesome sources of steel. Free steel is always a great thing for your projects. So first thing I need to do is disassemble this, and so I can start working on this more easily when it's not attached to a thing that is, you know, literally quite dangerous. It's got edges and points and things, and yeah, this is a dangerous thing to play with. So to disassemble this here, just take these two bolts off, get it off here, put that aside so I'm not hurting myself, and then work on the handle itself. Also, change my battery. So I lucked out a bit on this one. I was about to cut this off so I could get this piece here free when I noticed those two holes. So I'm going to cut on this side of that line, and then once I figure out how width it is, I'm probably going to cut on this side of that line, because that'll give me two pieces of L bracket that have the holes I need in them already, which makes my life a lot easier. Because I cannot be that consistent. The distance from this to that center, from here to that center, this was done in a factory. I cannot emulate that. So I'm going to go zing, zing. I'm going to cut these off. I will then drill two more holes, and I've saved myself the trouble of drilling two holes, which is awesome. I'm very happy about that. And while I'm here, before I cut it, I'm probably going to mark out the center of this, because it'll be easier when it's a whole piece with my vernier calipers to make a scratch line, and then I can make a center line off of this once I've got it free. It'll probably be simpler that way. So yeah, this is a pleasant little bit of serendipity. So here is the new handle assembly. I did screw up. What a shock. I screwed up because I drilled the holes in this first when I should have done the handle first. So I ended up having to put the brackets on the outside, because I could still make that work, as opposed to these brackets being on the inside. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I don't think it's going to be going anywhere either. So now I need to reinstall it onto the device. Oh yeah, one side note, I just today have tried something I saw actually on, I think it might have been a reel or a TikTok or something, when someone suggested taking off this style removable pad and putting on these sticky pads that you put on like furnishing legs so they can slide around on your floors and stuff. And they work really well. They're nice and squishy, and they're not going to fall off. So I've just tried this today, and I think it's pretty cool. It worked pretty well. And now we're going to give that a try. I'm not going to do that one quite yet until I'm 100% sure I like it. And this one here is a Bremen, and these don't come off as easy because these slip onto here like a cell phone case. So they actually snap around four sides. So that is a better design than that, because I've had those slide right the heck off these things. When I'm trying to tighten something down, you're holding something with one hand and you're trying to tighten it down a clamp with the other, and those things sliding off, and it's not a good time. So I'm trying this on 2 of my clamps, and we're going to see how that goes. And I think I got a package of 16 of these for $5 at Walmart, which I think was less expensive than Home Depot. I'd also check the prices on them. So, and I don't think Home Depot actually had the square ones. I think the Home Depot had the round ones and larger ones, but I don't think they had these nice 1-inch square ones, which is also a big selling point for Walmart. Yeah, I know they're evil, but I mean, my choices for local hardware stores is pretty much zero. So I go to a chain, or I go to another chain, or I go to another chain. Those are my options. Though I do happen to like Ace. I have a membership there in a way that I don't have any kind of a membership at like Walmart or at Home Depot. Ace is pretty cool, folks. I like dealing with them. If I need something as a specialty piece, I tend to go to them instead of a big box store. Alrighty. So now is going to be a time to reassemble this. It's not difficult to figure out which way it goes on because the holes are different sizes. Because when I built this thing, I didn't build it correctly. I drilled the wrong size hole, so I had to make 3 holes, 1/4 inch 20, and 1 hole. I think I think that's a 3/8. I think that's a 3/8 inch. And I actually don't know where I got that one. This particular bolt from, because that is round in the middle and it's a hex on the outside, so I don't actually know what that was for, but it's in my collection and it fits my project, so that's all I care about. So let's put this back together and then we'll take a look at it. And here we have the handle reinstalled, and I think it looks a hell of a lot better. I mean, I lost an entire inch off of that. That makes it look much sleeker. It's almost the same width as the collar at the back. That is just so much better looking. And once again, I didn't take something into account that I didn't space these well. I should have put these about 1 millimeter further this way. So I actually had to grind off a face on each of these to get that space. And I was able to use this little pin vise here for holding the thing while I was able to put it on my belt sander and polish off one face, just so I had enough clearance to get that between the two nuts. And then I had, of course, make sure I got that face on the inside, which took a little bit of jiggering and figuring out which way to do it. But everything else went back together quite nicely. It looks a heck of a lot better, and it still is very easy to get into. One of the big advantages of using these collars is it's very, very fast. One of the disadvantages is you do have a little bit of slop here, but it's not really huge. It isn't a huge amount of slop, and it does work well. I think I'm going to be using some arm weapons for my cosplay. For Halloween this year, I'm going to be doing a post-apocalyptic warrior again. I really like that look. And I'll be wearing my breastplate for the first time. And I'm going to be using 2 hand weapons. I'm thinking I'm going to be using the Viper's Kiss on my left hand and my Power Fist on my right, because I'm really in love with my Power Fist. I'm very much very happy about that. Not that I'm also not happy about this one, because this one came out well. And that was a great example of me being able to use angled iron from a bed frame and create brackets I needed and have them look good. I really like the way these brackets came out. I think I did an excellent job with this particular setup, and I could have laid this out a little bit better. That was a conflict that I created by drilling the wrong hole. If they had all been this size, there obviously was more clearance here. That one is a little bit of a pain in the butt because the nut is so large in comparison to the space I have, but everything else in here fits well. Everything else is 1/4-20s, because I love 1/4-20s. It's my favorite size in the whole wide world. It's just very efficient. It does everything I need it to do, and it is darn easy to get a hold of 1/4-20 fasteners and threaded rod and nuts and cap nuts and stuff. So yeah, very cool. By the way, if you ever need to get yourself some cap nuts, I recently found Bolt Depot online where I got 200 cap nuts for $27 shipped to me. That's shipping included. Was it shipping included? I think it was shipping included. Regardless, $27 for the order, and it got it here in my house in 2 days. 2 days, 200 cap nuts. I was so thrilled. I'm like, 2 days. This is awesome. So yeah, So I'm happy with the way this came out. I think it is an excellent job of improving my overall design. So now this goes back to where it belongs, and then I'll be working on my next project. So thank you for being here. I hope you had a good time. I hope that you follow me on Instagram and on DeviantArt. DeviantArt is where I post the permanent stills for my weapons builds, and Instagram is where I post bargain stuff, stuff having to do with weapon builds, sometimes sneak previews, and of course cute cat pictures. And who doesn't love a cute cat picture?